Yo, yo, you can call me Verlo. What's good? This is vinyl pickup number 3. You know how this goes at this point. But if you don't, and you're newcomer here, welcome. I just spent a few minutes speaking about some new vinyl that I picked up, and two of which I'm very excited to talk about. One of which is something that I showed off before, but I felt like it needed to be showed off again in proper fashion. So let's get into it. Oh, and yes, for my subscribers, I am much darker. I've been spending a lot of time in the sun, working and painting and whatnot, and so I'm definitely a few shades darker, and I got 2 poofs in my hair. They look funny. Let's get started. First off, and most importantly, Sigur Ros. Now, I spoke about this band numerous times. I have a few of their records, Valtari, Inni, and I think one other one. But it's been a while. It's been a while that I've spoke about them, and a long time coming. This is actually the project by them that put me onto them years ago. And for those of you who don't know, this is an Icelandic, they're classified as post-rock, but really they're like ambient rock, post-rock. It's kind of hard to categorize them. They make a lot of weird music. I hope that's picking up there. And this is called Tak. This album's called Tak. Takk, which basically just means thanks in Icelandic. So yeah, they're an Icelandic rock band, and they make some very ethereal music. If you have never really heard of them before, it's hard to say what album I think you should start on, but this is definitely a good starting point, at least in my case. It's definitely not for everybody, but man, for the people that love them, like me, they really love them. And like I said, this is the project by them that put me onto them and really made me fall in love with their sound. And I've wanted this record for years, like years and years, and I kept putting it off, and then at some point it was sold out for a while, and then I just kept putting it off because a lot of their records are pretty pricey. Basically around, the average is about like $50 or so. But then I finally got it, and I'm so happy. I cannot complain. I can't really convey this because obviously you're just seeing it, but the whole texture of the cover is very embossed, very raised, and it has like this withered kind of feel to it. And it's like a book. The spine is all black and kind of like withered itself. And even as you open it up, it has like that old school feel to it. Hope that's coming across. Just a bunch of little birds and whatnot. And this record has 3 records into it. One of them is a 10-inch, and that is the middle one right here, which has like the centerpiece song Milano. It's like a 10-minute song. It's not my favorite on the project, but still a great song nonetheless. For those of you who have not heard them and you would like to listen to them based off this project, obviously, I highly recommend track 2. Now mind you, these are all in Icelandic, so I might even butcher some of these, but track 2, Glossily, and track 3 and 4, which lately, according to Spotify, are my 2 most played songs this month, and I've had them on repeat. I've loved these songs. I've played them for years, but the reason why I bought this record is because I recently came across this album again, I guess after not listening to it for a while, for whatever reason. You know how music is. And my God, man, I have to say that like these 2 songs, first off, a lot of these tracks and a lot of the albums tend to have songs that flow into each other. I'm very big on that like cohesive aspect, and this album does not disappoint in that regard. But yeah, track 3 and 4, Happy Paula, which is their most popular song. I believe that translates into jumping into puddles. And then track 4, Mio Blusinir, which I believe translates to with the nosebleed, if I'm not mistaken. But those 2 tracks, they flow so well into each other, and track 3 is just such a happy, good feeling vibe. Like, man, if you never heard them and you want to get into them, usually I don't really steer people into like an artist's most popular song, because usually the most popular one tends to be the one that's really just not the best for whatever reason. But nah, check that one out, and make sure that you listen to track 4 as well. You gotta, like, it's like one of those pairing songs. You gotta play one after the other. And another one that I'll recommend, or three more, is Seglopur, which is track 6. And I would recommend track 8 and 9. If you want to hear something very ambient and like ethereal, track 9 is definitely it. It's called Anvari, and it's beautiful. I think it translates into breeze or zephyr. I've seen zephyr and breeze when I've looked this up, so I'm not really sure which one it is, but that's probably one of the most beautiful tracks on here. It's a lot of string ensembles on that track, especially towards the end. Like the end is just the perfect thing to fall asleep to. Like it's very much drifting off music, and I love it for that. And I think that track is like 8 minutes long, maybe 7 or 8, but it's perfect. It's just so blissful. Probably the most blissful track on this record. But then tracks like track 2, Glossily, has a big climax to it, which is my favorite thing about that track and about some of their songs in general. So if you like that sound, definitely go for that track. But yeah, overall, this is Sigur Ros, Tech. Lovely cover, lovely album. I'm definitely gonna spend more time talking about them. I'm gonna get like 1 or 2 more records by them, and then I'm just gonna do a video on just them. I would like to do a visual essay on them at some point, but definitely just gonna do like a dedicated vinyl pickup video on just them, because I have a few of their records and I think they should be talked about a bit more. Although they are critically acclaimed, I just feel like they deserve it. They definitely deserve it, and it'd be nice if I can, get somebody into that, kind of like how somebody got me into that. So, moving on to the next one. This is the one that I said is kind of a cop-out, because if you watch my vinyl 2022 tag video, this was in there. And this is kind of hard to see because it has a little slip cover, but I'll show you. This is Flatbush Zombies, 3001, A Laced Odyssey. This is their debut album. Get a little close up on there. Great project. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. I always say that in these videos because these bright ass lights always make me feel like it's hard to see. This is their debut, and this is the slip cover, as you can see, both sides to it. And this is the actual record, which has a fire cover in my opinion. I forget the name of the guy that did this. I have it saved on my desktop, but I forget his name. Fire. A whole bunch of little details in there. The 3 members that make up this group are all on this. And like, a characterized version of them. Very outlandish, but super dope. If you ever get a chance to check out this jacket, look at it. There's a bunch of details in there. I would love to get this like framed or something. It's really, really dope. But yeah, this is their debut project, and it's not my favorite project by them. I think that would probably have to go to, well, if we're talking albums, definitely Vacation in Hell, which is their second project, which I don't have because I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for that record. I would like to, but I think just like this one, I'm gonna wait for the anniversary. If they bring it back around, just like this one, I'm on it without a doubt, because I think that is a stronger project. But for those of you that don't know, these guys have been out for quite some time, based out of New York, Flatbush, New York, hence the name Flatbush Zombies. And they are also part of the group called Beast Coast, which is a record that I've talked about before in my vinyl collection video from 2 years ago. But they're dope, underrated, very underrated. In fact, I have a visual essay that I'm working on. I'm almost done. I just got to tweak some things. I got to change up my background music because some of it is being copyright claimed. So, which I don't really mind too much because I'm not a big channel and I'm not making money off these videos, but it would be nice to just have that out of the way so that if I do ever pop off at some point, I could make some money from that. But I got a visual essay coming out by these guys. I want to say, I don't want to give a date because I just might not live up to it, but I think I'm on track. Within like the next week or two, I'm gonna give myself like 2 weeks. And if you like visual essays, please check it out. If you like Flatbush Zombies, please check it out. There's a good number of tracks on here that I would recommend. But for the people that's new, I'd say check out track 2, which is Bounce. And actually, I would probably just say check out the project. I was gonna say some more tracks itself, but the reason why I don't want to single anyone out is because, like I said, this is a group made up of 3 people, 3 rappers. One of them is also the producer for the group as well. But there are particular tracks which I talk about in the visual essay that there may be a case where one of them has a track all to themselves, or there may be a track where it's just 2 members, and so on and so forth. So, I think you should probably check it all out to see which one you really like, because the person that was my favorite, which is Michi Darko, when I first started getting into these guys damn near a decade ago, he's no longer my favorite. Not saying that he's bad or anything, he's great. But now my favorite would have to be Eric, which is the architect. He is the producer / rapper. And yeah, like sometimes they'll have a solo track and they'll kill it, like the song Fly Away, or like the song Ascension. But I think hands down, my most played track on this album would have to be Smoke Break Interlude, if you can see that. Ironically, the interlude is the most played. I don't know what to say about this track. Back when I was smoking, definitely, I used to put this on repeat. And it just has a super, super chill vibe to it that I've always loved. And especially like the end, some like weird bongo, Congo drums come in and it kind of just transitions into the next track. And I've always loved that. And like I said about the last record. But overall, this is definitely a special pickup for me. Now, granted, I'm cheating because it's not that new, but it's new in the sense that I've barely played it. I barely even touch it. I just have it sitting up there on like a little mantle because I love looking at it. But this is a special pickup for me because I wanted it, just like the last project, Tack. I wanted this for years. I had to wait until it just came back around, especially because these guys do not, they have a very limited run of things and they don't really seem to release things more than once. Which is, I get it. It makes things special, but it kind of sucks for people like me who miss out on it the first time. But anyway, I highly recommend these guys, Flatbush Zombies. They have a mixtape. They have a few mixtapes, but they have a mixtape called Better Off Dead, which is arguably my favorite project by them. It's either that or Vacation in Hell, but that project definitely has some of my favorite songs by them altogether, without a doubt. I think my favorite track on there is probably Nephilim, which I use in my video as well. Fire song, very haunting. So if you like that New York, either gritty, druggy rap, you probably like these guys. But if you like a bit more of like an ambient sound on some tracks, you may also like these guys. Definitely a mixed bag and definitely deserve more attention in my opinion. I can't speak enough about these guys. Oh, and plus they got a fire merch line. It's on thegloriousdead.com. They drop new merch every Friday at 4:20, which I think is fire. But check them out, man. Definitely worth it. Flatbush Zombies, 3001, A Laced Odyssey. And this is the last record I'll be talking about today. For you that are Kid Cudi fans, you know what this is. This is Intergalactic. This is the LP he released in tandem with his Netflix special, I believe, which I still never seen, to be honest. Not for any reason, just I heard some good things, heard some bad things, just never really cared. But look at that, that's fire. That's fire. It very much screams Kid Cudi. It just says Intergalactic throughout the whole thing. And let me get a close up on the front and the back. Now this, I kind of got this one, not really on a whim, because I had it in my cart and was sitting in the tab for a few days. I was debating on whether I wanted to get it, but then I was like, I have the trilogy already. I have Satellite Flight. I have Indicud. So I was like, why not? Why not just really get it? Like I'm only really missing Passion, Pain, and Demon Slayin', I believe it's called. And I'm not paying all the money for that one, but I was like, why not just complete it? I do enjoy this record. There are some tracks on here that like I truly love, but you know, I probably shouldn't have to speak about Kid Cudi, man. If you know, you know. If you don't, then what are you doing? Go check him out. Probably don't start with this one. Not that it's not his best, it's just that he has some classics under his belt, and I would say start off with that first album. That first album, certified classic. Everyone has it. Everyone loves it for a reason, and that's, you know, Man on the Moon. He is the man on the moon. And I can't forget some tracks to shout out. So I'd say, honestly, there's a lot of good tracks on here, but my most played by far would definitely be Maybe So. This is like track what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is track 10, Maybe So. Super slow vibe. If you know Kid Cudi, I feel like that's probably when he's at his best, in that slow, somber, somewhat sad vibe. But Maybe So can be a very impactful song. If you're going through something right now, maybe put that on. If you're not feeling the greatest, put that on. Maybe if you're feeling a bit good, like I like the lyrics in there, just throw that on. But Ty Dolla $ign is also on here, and you can't go wrong. I feel like he's a cheat code feature. He has a great voice. In Love and My Drug, those songs, kind of like the first album I showed off Tack, those songs do not pair together. Like they don't come one after another, but I always play them together. I'm very much like that. Like I said, I love pairing songs, and those songs always give me a similar vibe. So whenever I play one, I play the other. And yeah, I would definitely shout out like New Mode, which is technically the second song, but really the first song, because the first song is just the theme. But New Mode is a good vibe. Ignite the Love is good. Willing to Trust. Willing to Trust is definitely my second favorite. And Can't Shake Her. Ironically, like I said, both of those songs have Ty Dolla $ign on there. And if you don't know Ty Dolla $ign, check him out. Or check him out through those songs. He has a great cadence. He has a great cadence whenever he's singing. And I feel like whenever people ask him to do a feature, he knocks it out the park. Real simple. Can't hate him. Can't hate him. But overall, yeah, those are my three. I'm going to have a fourth vinyl pickup video coming out very, very soon. Because I also have some more records I want to talk about. One of them, I'll just spoil. One of them is you know what? I'm gonna keep it a secret for now. I'm gonna keep it special. But one of them is by someone named Redveal, and he has one of the best projects of 2022 in my opinion, if I'm not mistaken. And that's definitely the first one I'll be talking about in the next video. But overall, if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And this is Verlo signing out. Be easy.